Hey team, it's Taylor. I hope you guys are doing well. I just wanted to hop on and film some volunteer updates for you as we are moving into the second month of 2022. I cannot believe we are in the second semester of the school year. There's a lot going on right now. There's a lot going on, a lot that's coming up in Riverbank Kids that it's just going to be amazing. And I just think God has given us so many resources, so much opportunity, so many amazing families and kids right now, and such a great team. I just want to encourage you guys first off, before we get into any of these updates, that I'm just so happy with where our team is. I was thinking that even after Sunday this week, I'm like, man, we just have a really good, solid team. I don't get a sense that you guys serve out of obligation or out of, I just need to be plugged in somewhere in the church. You genuinely love the ministry and you love the kids, and it shows. And I think it just leads to the most effective ministry we can have. And that is really my goal for this year. And we'll talk about that a little bit. And I have my notes up on my computer, so if I look this way, pardon that. I just want to make sure I cover everything as thoroughly as I can. But that is really a goal for me in 2022, is that we take this ministry that the Lord has given us, that He has helped just thrive and grow, and we just make it as strong as we can. And as I go through any of these updates, I don't want you to think, oh, we have a bad thing going and we have to make all these drastic improvements and change everything, because it's really not the case. We have such a good thing going. It's just a matter of making sure that we are having the most healthy, successful, thriving ministry we can. And really, when you're in a good place in ministry, that's the time to grow. And that's the time to try new things, test new things out, see what sticks, see what kids really need and what families really need right now. Because you don't want to do that when you're struggling. And so we have a good team right now. We have a good thing going, a good flow. So now's the time, if we're going to test things out, to kind of see what else is in store for us as a ministry. So I'm really excited about that. Just wanted to give you guys some updates. We have a lot of events coming up, a lot of really cool things going on. So first off, let's talk about Paul. I am so excited about Paul. If you're not familiar, this year we are starting to sponsor a child in Uganda through Compassion International, and his name is Paul. He's an 8-year-old little boy. Like I said, he lives in Uganda. He has a mom and a dad he lives with, and he has 2 brothers and a sister, I believe. I just got a note from him today in the mail that I was able to read. Oh my goodness, it melts your heart. I was reading it with Leah, our admin assistant, who also works in our nursery, and we were just melting because Paul is just a sweet little boy. He knows the Lord. He loves the Lord, and so we praise God for that, but there's still a lot of needs in his life. So we are giving 100% of all the offering collected in Riverbank Kids this school year to Paul, and then in school years to follow, hopefully, prayerfully, that's our goal, to stick with him as long as we can. And so this past Sunday, on January 30th, kids were introduced to Paul. They got to know who he was. They got to see a picture. They got to hear a little bit about his life, so they can really start to visualize where their money is going to. And I think this is going to be a really powerful thing for our kids, because we've talked about offerings before. We've had the boxes in there for a while. Every now and then we'll get some tithes and offerings coming in. But instead of just saying, we're giving money to God, we're giving money to the church, which we are, kids are now able to see, okay, tangibly, my money is going to a little boy just like me, maybe even my own age, and that's where my money's going to. And so I'm giving this money to God, and He's taking it to Paul and doing something amazing in his life. So I think it's just a really powerful opportunity for our kids to experience that. Certainly a really awesome and powerful opportunity for us to bless Paul with the great means that God has given us. And so I'm excited for that aspect. Teachers, just a reminder, collect that offering. I'm going to try to send that out in your curriculum emails every week for at least the next few weeks, until we really get into that rhythm and habit, and it starts just becoming as natural as praying together and all of that during class. So I suggest doing that at the beginning of class. By all means, you don't have to take that suggestion. If you find that it works better at the end to have a prayer time for Paul and collect your offering, that's fine. I just think, little hands with coins and cash and all of those things, I say just get it out of the way. Do it at the beginning. So that way we don't forget, we prioritize that, all of that. But test that out, see what works best for your kids in your classroom. So speaking of classrooms, Another thing you might have noticed, and I sent out to our teachers a couple weeks ago, is your classrooms are a lot more organized right now. I went through and I did some spring cleaning, some organizing, some decluttering. There was a lot of little hidden gems in your guys' classrooms, like craft kits and supplies and all of these things that really are great resources for us to use, but we just didn't know they were there because they were hidden in cabinets and drawers. And so I went through, and I'm not done yet, but there is a lot of progress that have been made in your classrooms. Things are really labeled well. If you can't find something, please let me know where it is. You guys are all stocked with your first aid kits. You also have teacher survival kits in your classrooms now, which is a fun little addition. If you don't know where that is in your classroom, let me know and I'll help you find it. But your teacher survival kits are water, granola bars, Motrin, gum, what else did I put? Emergency, that stuff you put in your water and it has like 100 days doses of vitamin C in it or whatever. Those are all in your classroom. So if you are having a busy morning, forget breakfast. I know many, if not most of you, are wrangling kids getting to church and then serving too. All of those things, I just wanted to be a blessing to you guys and just show you my gratitude for you coming out every Sunday or on the Sundays you serve. And so hopefully that blesses you. Get some water, get some food, get some gum, whatever you need. So those are in your classrooms as well. Just wanted to let you know that. And another thing I wanted to talk about, one of my favorite things to do every week that I have put in my routine every week is send out cards. I just love it. I think the art of snail mail has been lost, but it still holds a lot of power. And so something I do is we do send out birthday cards every month to all of our Riverbank kids friends. If they're having a birthday that month, they're invited to tell the check-in ladies that they'll get a treat at check-in. So we send them a card, but I also like just sending occasional shout out cards. You know, if we notice a kid is just really spot on, really listening well, sharing well, participating well, I like to send a card to them. Kids love getting cards because it doesn't happen a lot. And so they love getting cards, but parents also love knowing what is going on in their kids' lives, and they love people bragging on their kids. And so I wanted to let you guys know that if you notice a child in your classroom who deserves a shout out, please let me know. I know that I cannot see all things on a Sunday morning, but I want to highlight those things. And so if there's a kid in your class just really excelling, just let me know after service, drop me an email or a text, and I will make sure that a shout out gets to them. I know that's not your responsibility. You don't sign up to volunteer in that aspect. That's my role. I have the time and the space to do that. And so let me know. I'll partner with you. We'll make that happen, and we'll make sure that that kid gets the recognition that they deserve and gets celebrated. So those, I think, are our main Sunday morning updates. But I wanted to let you know about some events we have coming up. We have a full couple months. I'm really excited. You can see my planning boards over here. They are updated and ready to go. We have all of our lessons for the weeks, but we also have these special events coming up that I'm really excited about. So first off, we have Family Movie Night coming up. This is going to be on February 18th here at the church. We're going to be showing Up, the Disney Pixar movie Up. So parents, bring your tissues because those first few minutes are a doozy, am I right? So we're going to be showing Up. It's going to be doors open at 6:20 with the movie showing promptly at 6:45 in the worship center. We're also going to have snacks. We're going to have some themed games and activities. If kids are getting the wiggles, can't really sit still very long, need to come take a break, come into the cafe and do some stuff. This is a family event, and so this is not a parents' night out. This is not a drop your kids off and hope for the best situation. This is a families come, participate, hang out together, meet other families. There's a lot of power in events like this. I know it might just sound like a silly come and watch a movie and fill time in our calendar type thing, but there really is a lot of community and relationship building that can take place within families and families with families during events like this. So it's a super, super easy event to throw, to host, to plan, all of that. But with that said, I would really appreciate at least one or two other sets of hands on board helping with just the prep, the setup, the day of, tear down. This is not a come watch kids thing. This is just help decorate, maybe restock the food table every now and then help tear down. It's going to be an easy event to serve at. So please let me know if you are able to do that, even if you want to come set up and then leave, or if you want to hang out at home for a while, then come tear down as the event ends. That would be a huge blessing too. We don't necessarily need a lot of hands during the actual event. It's just the before and after that we really have a need at. So let me know if you're able to serve, and it would be so appreciated. The next thing in our calendar is actually a Sunday morning thing, but it's a special Sunday morning. And so on March 20th, we are going to have a Take Your Parents or Bring Your Parents to Church Day. This is something that Lindsay and Hilty, our lead Connect teacher, and I have talked about, and this is going to be a really cool opportunity, I think. So on March 20th, we are going to invite families to join their kids in Sunday school during the 9:45 hour. So teachers, your classes are going to be a little full, and that's okay. We're going to celebrate that. A lot of kids will probably just have one parent with them, because what we're going to do is kind of host this as like a school open house style. So think about it, a lot of families have one child in preschool, one child in kindergarten, one child in the toddler room, and another one in the Connect room. So they're going to split up, they can't be in the same class the whole hour. It might be a lot of come and go. It might be, this child has one parent with them, or this child has a grandma or grandpa with them. But regardless, our goal of this day on March 20th is to really, it's a few things. It's to let parents see what is taking place in Riverbank Kids. It's to get them excited about the ministry. It's to get them aware of the things that their kids are learning, kind of get to see our curriculum, our teaching styles, our programming firsthand. That's going to give them a lot of security and comfort in the ministry. They're also going to get to know their teachers better, their kids' teachers better. It takes a lot of trust to drop your kids off with people you don't really know well. And thankfully, we have so many consistent teachers that parents are comfortable for the most part, it seems, with the teachers. But this is just going to be an even added thing. Get to know that teacher better, get to see how that teacher interacts and loves their child, because our teachers do love these kids. And another thing is it's going to help parents kind of know, okay, how do I spiritually talk to my children? You as teachers, you're experts at that, because you do that every single week. You know the language, the tips, the tricks, the kind of activities that really reach a child spiritually. But sometimes that can be foreign for parents. They kind of wrestle with the idea that, okay, kids, they don't know the adult Christian language that we know. They don't know the phrases. They don't know the ideas, the stories. And so hopefully parents will kind of get an idea of, okay, this is a really good approach. This is something that my child really receives well when talking about spiritual things. And lastly, this is going to get parents interacting with other parents. This is going to form relationships on the parent level, on the caregiver level. This is going to be an opportunity for parents to look around the classroom and say, oh, I've seen that person around church before. They have a child the same age as my child. I didn't know that. That's already a common bond, and as parents that even just sharing that bond of kids at similar stages of life, that just breaks down so many walls and opens the door for a relationship and conversations. And so I'm excited to see that aspect of it. So that's going to be on March 20th, like I said, during the 9:45 hour. And then we're going to encourage parents to take their kids to church with them during the 11:15 hour. So Pastor Brad, the staff, the worship team, they all know that kids are going to be in that service during 11:15. Obviously, this isn't going to be a seamless thing. A lot of families probably aren't going to stay for that. 2 services can be a long time at church for parents with really littles. But we're going to encourage it, that parents would then take their kids to big church and kind of get to experience what that worship service is like, and just have another hour worshiping together as a family. I think it's going to be a really special day. So we're going to have a light little breakfast, snacky type things in the classrooms. There's going to be some games, some mixers for parents and kids to compete against each other, have fun together, and then we're going to have our lesson as normal so parents can get a glimpse of that normalcy that we have every week. So that is March 20th. Bring your parents to church day. So excited for it. The next thing is coming up on April 15th, and this is going to be the River Church's Children's Ministry Easter event this year. We have foregone the egg drop for another year. I don't know what the future holds with that, to be completely honest with you. All I know is we're not doing it this year, but we have decided to still do something, and we are going to go through a program called Journey to the Cross. I actually have all of my material here for it. It just came in the mail, and I was opening it this morning. I'm so excited to go through it. It is a interactive family walkthrough through Jesus's last final moments leading up to the cross. And so we're going to do this on April 15th, which is a Friday night, and it is Good Friday. So it's going to be the perfect time to do it. It will be a 2-hour event. It's station-based and it's family-oriented. So families, again, will stay together as they journey through these stations, talking about the last moments leading up to the cross. It's interactive. There's things to do at every station. It's fun, it's engaging, it's very themed. We're gonna put a lot of work into this. You know what that means. We need hands, we need helpers for this event. I'm gonna put together some job descriptions, some role descriptions, and let you know the specific needs so you can say, okay, I wanna volunteer for this, for this, for this. Don't really wanna do that, so you know exactly what you're getting yourself signed up for. But it's gonna be a great event. We really wanna push it for outreach, for community. It's going to be an awesome, awesome time to get families in our church, have a spiritual experience leading up to Holy Week and Easter. I'm really looking forward to it. So again, that's April 15th. We're gonna do 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. and we need all hands on deck. Cannot wait. So next, we are going even further into the future. There's not a lot to talk about with this right now, but I wanted to get VBS dates on your guys' radar. So we have confirmed that this year's VBS is going to be July 18th through 22nd. Did you see I had to check my notes and make sure? We were wrestling with a couple dates between the staff and stuff, but it's July 18th through 22nd. Here at the church, we are doing Destination Dig VBS, which was last year's Lifeway VBS. So you might have seen some churches nearby doing that. A lot of churches will follow the Lifeway every year. We are doing it a year after, and we have been blessed. We have been blessed with resources from 2 different churches that did it last year. I got to help serve at a friend's church where my friend and her husband are on staff as pastors there. They did Destination Dig. It was an awesome experience. So I got to kind of walk through that, help lead that, so I know what to expect. It is a really, really good VBS. That church gave us a lot of resources, and then another church in Illinois we have connections to gave us a lot of resources. So we have saved so much, and it's going to allow us to really pour into the outreach, to the planning, to the volunteer training, all of that, to really be intentional about VBS this year. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to put together some volunteer training, some meetings. We're going to also have a very focused planning committee again this year. All details on that will come soon, but it's going to be a great VBS. I really want us to focus on salvation experiences and outreach and getting people in the doors who might have never heard about Jesus before. And I also really want to focus on the families this year. We're going to do some stuff on the last day to really tie families into the whole week and what their kids are experiencing, and hopefully carry that momentum into the rest of the summer, into the rest of the new school year for them. So Destination Dig at VBS is July 18th through 22nd. Next, I want to just briefly talk about curriculum. This is an event. We're past the events now. Let's talk about curriculum for a minute. If you are in our classrooms, you're a faithful volunteer or teacher, you know that we have been kind of testing the water with some new curriculum. So this school year, we said, okay, we're going to test out a curriculum called Grow. This is an up-and-coming curriculum. It's really popular right now. It's all the rage, and it's really enticing. They really do a good job at sucking you in and making you think, I really want to do this in my ministry. So we have said that this year, every time there was a 5th Sunday in a month, every time there was a 5th week, we were going to take that week and we were going to have it as a Grow trial run. We got access to some sample lessons. We said we're going to put these together, we're going to put them in the classrooms, see how it goes. We have gone through 2 of these trial lessons so far this school year. In fact, we just had one this past Sunday on July 30th. And here's kind of what we're hearing. I don't know if it's for us. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't know if it's for us. I want it to be, but I don't think it is. And so we are gonna probably, most likely, make that hard sacrifice and say that this is not for us. But that doesn't mean that we're not gonna keep looking. We're happy with where we are. Group is being a great curriculum for us. It has a lot of pros, it has some cons, and so we just want to make sure, like I said at the beginning, that we're being as effective as possible. Maybe that is group and kind of modifying it, tailoring it every week, but maybe there's something else out there that we just have to find, that we just have to prayerfully consider. And so where we're at with curriculum right now, we have the rights, we have the access to group through the rest of the school year. We can renew that. We can get another year if that is what the Lord is bringing us to, if that's what we are finding is working best in our classrooms. Truthfully, I want us to look at sampling Orange curriculum. Now, the River used to use Orange a few years ago, based on my understanding, and we stopped for a few reasons. And, the thing with children's ministry is the needs come and the needs go, and kids change and life changes for them. And so what worked for us then might not work now. What works for us now might not work in the next few years. And so I want us to be open to even going back to backstepping and saying, okay, you know what? We needed a break from that. Let's try it again. So we are going to sample out Orange. I am personally going through a lot of Orange material right now for some professional development and leadership growth things that I'm working on. And I love their philosophy. I love their leadership. I love what they stand for. I love everything they're doing. But of course, we have to get it in the classrooms. We have to test it out. We have to see how it works for you guys as teachers as far as planning, prep, what that looks like. So be on the lookout in the next month or two for an Orange sample lesson. I will of course communicate with you guys if that's your week to teach, let you know what's going on. And then I want to hear feedback from you guys. I love hearing the feedback on your lessons, whether it's group, whether it's grow, whether it's going to be Orange. We just want to make sure that, again, we're being as diligent as possible in our search for the best curriculum for these kids where they're at in their lives right now. So I just want to conclude this volunteer update and information, just letting you know that I really feel like this is going to be a big year for Riverbank kids. I'm so excited about what the Lord is doing through you all, through our staff here, through the kids and the families we have. It's just, there's exciting things on the horizon. And like I said earlier, every time you see updates and changes and we're trying new things and cutting events and trying new events, I don't want you to go into it with the idea that things are going bad, we're just throwing things at the wall, seeing what sticks, because that is not the case at all. We are in a healthy place, and like I said, we just want to take that momentum and we want to run, and we want to be okay with making changes, creating some healthy tension, kind of revamping things, innovating, recalibrating, whatever we need to do to make sure that we have the most healthy, effective ministry possible, and we are reaching kids right where they are, because we know as a result of the last couple years, kids are not where they were 5 years ago. They have different needs, they have different interests and attention spans and ways of learning, and they just need different love and care than they did 5 years ago, and different programs and different strategy. And so we really want to understand that, and we really want to tailor everything we do to those needs. And so some of the things we're going to do that you'll see coming out in the next couple months is we're really going to tailor in our mission statement and really make sure, do we have a clear Riverbank Kids mission that we all know, that we all can recite, that families know, that families believe in, that we all shape everything we do around? And do we have those value statements? Do we have, okay, this is what we stand for, and we're going to shape Sunday mornings and events, and we're going to make sure those things all have at least a few of these values weaved into them so they're purposeful and intentional. So those are things I'm looking forward to, just kind of narrowing down our ministry. What do we stand for? What are we doing here? I think it's going to make a big difference, because sometimes all it takes is getting a little bit of a more narrow view to make the bigger difference. I know that sounds counterintuitive sometimes. We think, okay, the more we can do, the bigger we can make it, the bigger the impact, but that's not always the case, because we want to make sure everything we're doing is intentional, is aligned with our mission as a ministry and as a whole church, and that's how you really make the biggest impact. But you have to know what that mission is, and you have to know what those values are. So that's what we're working on. Stay tuned for more information about that. But thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch these updates, to get these events on your calendar, to consider prayerfully serving in any of these events coming up. Remember, we have family movie night, Journey to the Cross, VBS, all of these awesome things coming up. I'll keep you guys posted on curriculum and updates and all of that. But I just want to let you guys know that I love you, that I pray for you, that I am so grateful to have you in my corner, and that you are loving, trusted adults in these kids' life. Something that Orange says that I'm learning a lot in the masterclass I'm going through is that one of the greatest gifts, if not the greatest gift you can give kids aside from Jesus, is another loving adult that loves them and is trustworthy in their lives. And I believe that. And so I am grateful that our kids have that in you all. So have an awesome day, great week. I'll see you again soon.